All right, so today we're gonna talk about the Blood of Dawnwalker. So what is this game about? So it's about vampires, and it's produced and made by the people who also made Witcher. Some of them, left the company, CD Projekt, just pursue their own career, and they decided to make a game that is about vampires. It's an open world RPG, action combat as well. So today we're going to talk about a very few important matters that are not really discussed, but they will decide whether the game will be good or not. And the most key important things are the publisher and the people in charge of the studio, because it matters a lot whether they know and understand what RPG games are and how they should be made. First off, we're gonna start with the most important one, the publisher, which is Bandai Namco Entertainment. Why publisher matters? Well, it matters a lot because they're the ones responsible for funding, publishing, and making the decisions of the studio. So they're in charge of everything. So we're gonna look at a few key figures about this publisher. So they own several multi-million video game franchises, including Pac-Man, Tekken, Soul Calibur, Tales, Ace Combat, and so on. But the most important one we should look is Dark Soul. So that's one key figure. That way we can tell whether their games have been properly released without any issue and whether they had um, a good review from people, whether they enjoy it or not. So I assume most of you played Dark Souls and you know how well received it was. And it does matter a lot who the publisher is. Because if you got some other publishers, well, Dark Souls may not be what it is today. So that's one important figure. Or if you played any of those games and if you've been happy with the way they were made, well, that's mostly because they're the ones making the final decision. And another key important fact is headquarters. Yeah, that's very important. For example, they're based in Tokyo, which is really important because let's say in America, there is some shady practices going on, still going on, even with Trump around. Probably not for long, but they're still there. And it doesn't matter a lot what uh, those countries decide what should be done or not. So that's another important fact. That's another good thing about the game. So that's already settled. That's already good. And Japanese people understand better how games should be made. Now we go back to the studio, which is Rebel Wolves, and we look also at key important figures. Who's the director? Who's the artist? Who's the writer? And it doesn't matter whether those people fully understand what an RPG game is or not, or whether they work in previous games. It doesn't matter. Because if they work in other types, other genre, it may not be what it will be. Yeah, it may actually be bad, or it may actually, I don't know, it may be a gamble. But so far, everything is good. But we're gonna go in order. So Konrad Tamashevsky, I already butchered the name, but he's the director, which is a really good sign. And he also worked on Witcher 3, Cyberpunk as a production management, and the first Witcher. So those already very good signs that he understands the genre and how they should be made. So far, so good. Now we go to the next one. He's the one responsible for the art department. So he worked in on Witcher 3, Witcher 1, and now current is gonna be the Blood of Dawnwalker. So you can already see the similarities between Witcher 3 and this game. That's another good thing. Now we're gonna go to Jakub, who's responsible for writing the game. So He wrote on Witcher 3, Cyberpunk, and Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty. Again, very good signs. He understands the game, he understands the genre, and you've been happy probably with most of those games anyway. So that's a very important matter. Next thing is the gameplay, right? Yeah, I know here is the cinematic trailer. Everything looks fancy and everything. But what they did is they released two gameplay footages, and another good thing is they're receiving player feedback. So here you can see, how the game it is, still not fully stage, still in pre-alpha stage, but it shows how the world is, what kind of quests there are. So you can see a lot of similarities between this and The Witcher 3. But as I said, those people work in RPG games before, so they have a better understanding of it. Obviously, now it's not fully finished, but it gives you an idea on how the game should be. There are two parts, yeah, gameplay. One is about the quest, and one is about the world. So it shows a bit of everything. And if you don't like something, you can always say, and they will receive that feedback and they will improve it, next time. The game will release next year. So until then, everything looks good so far. But again, you should wait for some streamers to also review the game further before you make a final decision. But in my own opinion, actually, I'm gonna play this game, and I'm gonna, be fully honest. I played all the Witcher games. I fully understand how they are, how they play. So obviously, I'm gonna try this as well. And so far, I like how it looks. And probably a lot of you been waiting for a game that is about vampires, who is open world, and you want to have as much freedom as possible. And you want to feel like a true Lord of the Night. Because there are very few good games about vampires. But none of them so far been fully open world. So yeah, all this footage may be improved, on the final release. So that's all I can say. Until then, just put on wishlist and wait for the streamers to give another opinion as well. Do not listen to media outlets. They're the worst. That's all I say. So yeah, so far so good. See you next time.